Welcome to the Niagara Learning Channel. I'm starting to work on graphics and I've got 3 stations that I'm bringing in for this site. And I've brought in the first set of stations. It's offline at the moment, that station. But before it went offline, I brought in all the points. And then I wrote the other software for the other station. Again, I brought in all the points before I took it offline. And I'm on the last station now, which those were all those points I brought in. Now the last station is still online, it's on my desk, so I'm going to bring all these points in and I'm just going to show you how I bring them in, all my points. I mean, I've got to work on them all. So the background, I animate, so I right click that, animate it, and I status to simple, and I go background there. Because I have histories on all my points, I am actually going to put this very light green as a colour, and anything that's light green on my points means that there's a history attached to it and they can click on it and do a pop-up. Border, I'll put that to groove, and foreground, I'll animate my foreground. I status to simple again and click on foreground and go OK. And we've got the out value and display name ticked, and we want the format text to be out value. And the other thing I do is, because they're going to be all pop-ups, these, I can change the mouse over to highlight, click on OK, and these are all the points. And I'm just going to change the text to 16 for all of them, and then space some of these out. Let's see what we've got here. Some of the text would be pretty long. Looking at that, it is. So I'm just going to move them across to there, bring that across down into there. I've got to work with all these anyway. Just bring that across to there. I can fit another 3 more in there, and that's my lot. And then this I'll just put up there at the moment. Just to show you what I mean about the text, like I said, these are offline, these stations. I wrote the software. I've only got one Mac 36 controller on my desk. I write the software, upload it up to the supervisor, and after that I will not do a clean disk. I will basically start writing the software for the other station and then bring that up to the supervisor, and the same for the last station, which is here. So there's 3 stations for this one site, and basically AHU 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, not AHU 3, it doesn't exist yet, but it will do eventually. Heating, hot water, extract fans, and then I've got over to the time schedulers as well. But just to show you what I mean about the green box here, see how it's all highlighting when you click over now? These won't, well sorry, they will, but they're not got the green background due to the fact that they're offline. But if I click on info, which is loaded up on my other screen, and bring this across, this green background means it's a history pop-up, a grey means it's a switch, a yellow, light yellow means it's a set point, a black with white text means it's a calculated value, and that's just a sensor without any history attached to it. And here you got your alarms here, and then the palette that I am using, the different colours that I am using on here for the palette. Anyway, the PX pages here, this top is different to the, so if I take this top here, you can see it's different. I'll control key Z, and this is different, control key Z, and this side is different, control key Z. So I don't need to, if another page comes on, I can just edit the side. I haven't got to go through all the pages and edit all the pages. which saves a lot of time. And then each page that you click to will have its own. So AHU1 gym, reception, 3, well, we don't have that yet. 4, 5 and 6. I put the 3 in because the stations that I've done gives me AHU1, AHU2 and 4, 5 and 6. So I'm thinking, well, there's going to be a 3 sometime coming along. So that's why I've put the 3 in there. I don't think they would jump from 2 straight to 4 without something being an AHU3. Heating, we've got 3 boilers. I've just put some basic graphics in there at the moment. Hot water, again some basic graphics. Extract fans, well, again I've got to work on that. And schedulers, well, I've got to put all the schedulers in. So I've got quite a lot of work to do here on this. But the home page, I normally put a picture of the site on the home, or a couple of pictures depending on what's interesting. And that's it. All my critical stuff, alarms, etc., will go here on the bottom bar. So it's actually on every page. Control key Z, Control key Z. And I'm bringing in all the points at the moment because I've got to work on these points. So every one has got a history attached to it, apart from like the some of the alarms. So I've got to work on these points, and I'd rather bring all the points in, work on all the points, and then take the points and put them to the pages, and take the alarms, the critical alarms like the safety circuit and the fire alarm and the gas valve. These 3 will definitely end up down at the bottom. The outside air temperature one will end up here on the top navigation bar, and then all of these individual ones, be it AHU 4, 5, 6 or what, will actually be, I'd put them into the folders. But I'd rather do all the points in one go here than put them to the individual folders, because each one I've got to do. For example, let's say AHU2 supply set point there, this one here, this isn't going to stay like this. What we do with this one is I will go to kit control, kit PX, sorry, and I will take an action button there, just drag that across. I will take this temperature, this set point, sorry, control key C, the ORD, and I will put it into there, control key V, / set, OK. And then I would also then add a value binding to it and paste it just in there. This is for the out value that I'm going to do now, the text. So I would animate that text. I'll put that to out value. And then the background, I'll animate the background. Do what we've done before when I brought them all in, but this time I'm going to put a yellow, light yellow background on this, because this is a set point. So the client will know straight away if he looks at the info that this is a set point. And there's no mouse over or anything like that, and we'll leave that everything else as it is. OK. So that's my set point there. Now you're not seeing that background because of the it's offline. Let me just go font and change that to 16. Go OK, OK. And then what I will do with that one, whichever one it was, I think it was the AHU supply. Let's double check that. AHU supply set point. I will delete this AHU supply set point now from there, and I will place this in its position, and I will go through all these set points. Let's just duplicate this, and let's just do one with the controller that's online, because we'll have some set points here. Here we go, hot water set point. So I'll take that, control key C, and this is the easy bit really, control key V / set, and then control key V, and then I'll take that 62, delete it, put that in its place so I know that's a set point. Duplicate it, and then I'll do the same with all these. Control key C, Control key V, /set, just to show you where that is. If you go to component chooser, it's this here, but I just type it in rather than selecting it. I just type in the set, the word set. It's just easier than selecting it for me. And I can now delete that one, and that one's done. But what I'm actually going to do on all these, now I know my mismatches, I don't think I put alarms on them. Sorry, histories on them. There's alarms on them, but there's no histories. But for example, this temperature here, there's a history on there. So I'll go through every single temperature and I will do this. Kit pop-up binding. Highlight that, Control key C. Put it into the ORD. Chart. OK. So every one of these temperatures I will go through and do that. Naturally I'm not going to do that on the YouTube video because it's going to take so long and it's just going to be boring. And anything else, for example, this heater number 1, well there's no fault attached to that, that's just an enable. All these I will actually remove the foreground, unanimate it, then click on animate it, and then I'll put a dark green when it's enabled, and I'll go through and do all these. Again, there's a history attached to it, but when that becomes enabled it will be green. Now I've got the controller actually on my desk, so emergency active is purple, emergency auto, and I don't think I'm going to be able to get this changed to a green for you to show you because it's got points attached to it, so I can only do an override, and an override gives you a separate colour as well. If I do an active here, and let's just select it custom, and then make it active for 30 seconds, that will give you a different background colour. Again, you've got your purple now, but normally, well, you can see the green, you can see the label change to green. Not as good as if it was on the background, but you can see it change to green. So I've got to go and do all them as well. So a lot to do to get these points to a situation where I am able to start with the graphics. So I'm going to put you on hold because this is going to take me a few hours, I should imagine. Thank you. Just thought I'll show you this. This is the station that's on my desk. This is the cloud supervisor that's not on my desk, it's on a PC in the cloud. So if I change something on here, like, I don't know, flow temperature there. So if I actions, emergency override, and change that to 20 degrees on the station, you can see it's changed straight away on the cloud at 20 degrees. That's how fast it is. Actions, emergency auto. If I put this to fault, actions, emergency active, gone straight to fault straight away. Actions, emergency auto. So it's quite fast from the station to the cloud. I just want to show you that bit. I'm going to just carry on putting all my pop-ups to all these, and we'll see where we go with this. I just thought I'll show you a couple of pop-ups, what I'm doing here. Kit pop-up binding, Control key C, Control key V, default view chart, and I'm going to do these on basically every single point near enough, which is going to take a while, so you don't want to be watching every single point that I am doing, but I just thought I'd show you what's going to be taking my time up. I've already done a pop-up binding on that one, so we don't want to do that again. Click pop-up, Control key C, Control key V, default view chart. Okay, I'll put you back on pause now. A lot of engineers just do kick pop-ups on temperatures only, which is probably what the client just wants to see, but I like to put pop-ups on all my points, no matter what they are, purely because I like to go and have a history of everything, and seeing it's going back to the supervisor. Did I actually press chart on that? Seeing it's going back to the supervisor, yeah I did, it's unlimited history, so it's not going to change, it's going to just carry on and record the values even in 3 years time, 4 years time. You can see what the history's been 2 years ago or 3 years ago or 4, which I find is nice to have as a client. Right, I'll put you on hold again, pause. I admit it's a lot of work for the engineer to do this, and very time consuming. For writing my logic, it is quite quick for me to write logic. The graphics always take twice as long as writing the logic. But I've had clients in the past, the reason I put histories on them all is I've had clients in the past that has been having the histories of the temperature, and then they're saying, well, what about this pump? Has it been running? When did it stop? Etc. etc. And he wanted histories on the flow switch and the enables, and ever since then I've decided it's better I just give them everything, and then if they don't use it, that's their choice. But the problem is, it is time consuming going through all these points, and graphic wise, putting the pop-ups in there. It's so easy to add an history to a point. That's not the issue in the writing of the control logic. The issue is the graphics, which always takes me twice as long. If anyone knows a way of actually doing this faster, please let me know and put a comment or contact me. My details are easy to find, Max King Limited, because I would love to know if there's a quicker way than this, because like I said, it is time consuming putting a chart on every single point. And you say, yeah, you don't need to put them on alarms because you've got the history there, which is true, you have got the histories on the alarms, but I still place it on every point. But if there's a quicker way that anyone knows about, please put something in the comments. Save me a lot of time going through all these points and adding a pop-up binding for the history. And if you can, it'd be nice if you can subscribe for me, if you don't mind, and hit the like button if you do like this. If you don't like it, then don't hit the like button, but I'd appreciate you subscribing, because it all helps with this YouTube channel. So I'm trying to concentrate, I'm trying to do two things and talk at the same time, but I definitely could do with a faster way of doing this. If anyone knows it, it would be nice to know. Another thing as well, if you're doing things like this, regular, take yourself out of edit mode and then put yourself back into edit mode. The reason for that is if you lose connectivity while you're in the PX and you haven't saved it, you lose all your work. So it's nice to actually save it every now and again to save losing your work. A lot of people complain about losing their work and how they can get the PX file back. You can't. You've lost it. It's gone. And all the time you've put in there designing that PX file, and your internet's gone, or you've lost connection somehow, or your laptop's died, or something like that, you have got a big problem. You're going to have to redo it all again. So sometimes it's nice to just come out of edit mode, like I'm doing now, and then go back in again. Just a little tip there. I've also moved the fire alarms down here for MCC. That should say MCC3, by the way. Let's edit that Navbar bottom. That should say MCC3. And that should say MCC3. Come out to edit mode. Come out to edit mode. Go back into edit mode. Again, saving it as well. Now, I don't know where I was, so I haven't done a pop-up on that one. I did a pop-up on that one. So let's just do a pop-up on this one. Yeah, it's happened to me in the past where I've been working on graphics and ended up putting a lot of hours in and not saving my work. And not nice. You've lost all them hours. So if you've done 2 hours on a graphic, you've lost all them hours. And I don't wish that on anybody. So when you are editing PX files, please, 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 every now and again, even if it's just every 5 minutes, just unclick and then click again. And then that way, if you do lose internet connection, or your computer dies, or whatever it is that switches it off, you've got your last backup. Okay, we'll do a few sensors now. In fact, let's just move that across to over there for now. And these are some sensors that I need to, set points, sorry, that I need to, that's not a set point, that one there, so that's just a kit pop-up binding. Control key V, default chart, okay, okay. But that one, control key C, control key V, set, control key V, Control key C, set, Control key V, Control key C, Control key V, set, Control key C, Control key V, set, take out them, paste in them, and do a save. So I've just got these to do down here now for the histories, and then I've done everything and I'm ready to put stuff onto the points onto the different pages. So that's all the pop-ups done now for all the histories. I'm just going to take these two here, I'm going to leave them on the sheet, I'm just going to copy them because this is a main pool flow and the small pool flow, and I'm going to put them on the Navbar at the bottom. And actually I don't need to attach histories, they're already attached, I've been through them all and done that. So main pool flow and small pool flow, so they have that on every page that they visit, which is quite critical, I really think, for a leisure centre, that they know what the flows are. And it'd probably be nice to know the hot water flow and return. Well, we've got two hot water flows here, we've got MCC1 and MCC2. So let me just take that one, let me copy that, that's MCC1, paste, and then go back into there and take that one, that's MCC3, paste, and we'll call that MCC1 HWS flow, Control key C, MCC3 flow, Control for HWS. They are different, so let's just, I normally leave two squares at the end, because when it's on a web page it seems to be a lot bigger and this seems to move across, so I always find leaving two squares at the end is a good move to do. As you can see, I've done them on all these as well. So let's just take that out of edit mode and go back into here. And now what I need to do is these here, when they are actually, so let's go one that's actually, we've got communicate there. I want that when it's enabled to go green on these, and I want that when it's enabled to go green, which I think I haven't done yet. So there's no alarm attached to a flow, so there's no arm, well, which I have done there, but I've gone green there. So I've already done all the flows again with this one green. So I could do, there's no alarms attached to the enables, it's just history. So what I could do, in fact I think I might have done them all, I thought there was some I didn't do. Yeah, like that one. And that one, okay. So I would unanimate that, animate it, and I will put that to green, dark green. Unanimate, animate, put that to a dark green. So now I'm going to go through all the anything that's not got an alarm attached to. I'm going to put in a dark green when it's enabled or when there's flow. So it's just a different colour than black. Just makes your graphics stand out a little bit better. You could also go one step further and also make it bold, but I haven't done that because again that's even more work to go through. But if I needed to do that, all he would do would be animate that and click on B there for bold, but I'm not going to do that. I'll leave it as it is. And that flow switch there has been done, so I've done all the flow switches. I just didn't do the enables and disables, so I'm going to do that now. So I'll put you on pause again while I go through and do this lot. I'm making these alarms here on the bottom bold when they're in an alarm issue, but I'm not going to do it to all the points, only the alarms at the bottom. Just makes it stand out that little bit better. But that's only ones I'm doing, just these. Okay, save that, go back to that, save that. They look a bit better now. Yes, I've got histories on them, and the histories would be in the alarms anyway, but I've still put histories on them, and naturally all of them have got histories on. Okay, I'll carry on with these disables now. Right, that's all the disables done now, so that when it's enabled the text will be green. I was thinking about doing something with the valves, so that when they start getting a percentage they also turn green. So I'll show you how we do that. So we'll start with this one here, and we'll animate that, and we'll animate it, and this time we will put in 2 minus inf plus inf, and we'll put a 1 value there, and once it gets a value to infinity it will actually turn green, and the default can stay like that, which is black anyway. So we'll do another one just to show you again. So take out that, unanimate it, animate it, sorry, add 2 minus infinity plus infinity 1 green. And I'm going to do that for all the valves, but I've just realised that we're in 34 minutes at the moment when we keep pausing, and I think I'm going to say that's it for this video, because I'll be eventually moving these onto the graphics once I'm finished. So thank you for watching, and I appreciate it if you could subscribe. Thank you again.